Hello everyone, how are you all doing? So my apologies, this week's video came a little late. I just had one of the most hectic weeks ever, but here we are and let's get talking. So today we want to talk about something that is very, very important. Okay, everything that I teach you guys, everything that I talk to you about, your dreams, finding your voice, building your confidence, fighting your low self-esteem, everything that I have ever talked about on this channel literally converges at that one thing. And if you don't have that thing figured out, all of it is in vain, all of it amounts to something. And what I'm talking about is attitude. We want to talk about attitude, because your attitude literally affects everything. Your attitude affects the relationships that you build. Your attitude affects the way you go after your dreams. Your attitudes affect your success in your career, in your marriage, in business. Literally everything that we do goes down to the attitude that we carry about that particular thing. So in today's video, we want to talk about the power of attitude and how to develop a better attitude and the kind of attitude you need to have certain topics. Okay, that's overwhelming, but I will talk about it more as the video progresses. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Petronella Mnenja. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a consultant. My book, From Gokwe to Oxford, The Girl Who Dared to Dream, is available on Amazon. Please do get a copy. If you're in Zimbabwe, you can get a copy from Innov8 Bookshop, or you can hit me up and I can have a copy delivered anywhere in Zimbabwe. So in today's video, we want to talk about something that's very important: attitude. What is attitude? I think the simplest definition of attitude is your mindset towards something. Your mindset towards something. So how you perceive a particular thing, how you perceive particular people, how you perceive money, how you perceive goals. So your mindset and your approach and your emotions and your thoughts towards a particular thing is what is called your attitude. And I want you to understand this, and I want you to understand this very, very well. If you don't have a positive attitude, if you don't have a can-do attitude, if you don't have a good attitude in general, it's going to be very, very hard for you to go far in life, because let's face it, your attitude affects your everything that we have talked about earlier on. And before I talk about this in much more detail, let me start by saying this. I'm not here to attack anyone. I'm not here to tell you that your attitude is bad. I'm not here to literally just pull out your weaknesses and just dangle them in your face. No, I'm not here to do that, because one thing that I understand very well is our attitude is often a manifestation of the environments that raised us. So usually we see life the way that our families see life. Usually we see life the way our parents see life, which is why I always tell people that your parents are amazing role models, but sometimes when it comes to going after your dreams, you need a mentor who is not your parents, because your parents can only mentor you to as far as they have gone in life. So you need their support, you need their motivation, you need their prayers if you believe in that kind of thing. But when it comes to actually going after your dreams and your goals, you're going to need a mentor who has actually succeeded in that particular field, who can hold your hand and tell you what to do or not to do. Okay, so, and I'm saying this for you to recognize where your attitude comes from. So if you grew up the way I did in a rural area, or if you grew up somewhere else, you'll understand that if anyone had money, people would say that, oh, akaromba, oh, ane mushonga, oh, they have juju, oh, they're doing something wrong, because there was just something so abnormal about having money. And because of that, you might grow up feeling bad for having money. You'll have a negative attitude, you'll have negative inclinations towards people who have money, because you have been raised in an environment that made you feel guilty for having money, that made people feel guilty for having money. Or you grew up in an environment where your parents were not really in a happy marriage, and that sort of colored your attitude against marriage. Or you grew up and you were never really good in school, you struggled with grades, and that sort of just affected your attitude towards school and education, and now you're always telling everyone school is not important, just hustle, just be an entrepreneur. I'm saying all this to say that our attitude is usually a manifestation of the environments that raised us, and knowing this is the first step in working working towards it. So what happens is, if you've realized that I come from a background that doesn't have a good relationship with money, I come from a background that doesn't offer many role models when it comes to happy marriages, I come from a background that doesn't necessarily empower the girl child, I come from a background that doesn't necessarily clap hands for people that do well, and for that reason I have this terrible attitude against when it comes to success, and I'm going to fix it. When you identify those things, you can then put your energy into developing some positive attitude. And I want you to tell you the 4 important things that you need to have a positive attitude with. The first one is, have a positive attitude towards your dreams. Okay, if you're not going to believe in your dreams, then don't sell them to anyone else. Then don't even pursue it, because if you don't believe it yourself, if you don't believe that you can do it, if you don't have the energy to wake up each morning and do it, then what's the point? You need to have a positive attitude towards your dreams. Wake up each day and tell yourself, I can do it. Wake up each day and tell yourself that I can do it. I'm going to amount to something. One of my favorite sayings, and my friends know this, is, I will not be a footnote in history. I refuse to just go down in history as one person who lived and died. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to do it. And I believe it. I have a positive attitude towards my dreams. I have my vision board on the walls. I know exactly what I want to do. I know exactly where I want to be. And right now, when things don't make sense, when it looks like I'm going to need longer or more money to get there, I don't get discouraged. I don't lose hope, because I know where I'm going and I have a positive attitude towards my dreams. So that's the first thing that you need to develop. Stop holding yourself back. Because when you have a negative attitude, when you don't view success as something that can happen to you, or when you don't view success as something that is possible for you, you will have a negative attitude towards it, and that will just make you not work as hard enough. That will just affect your confidence, that will just affect your low self-esteem, and ultimately you won't go after your dreams. So you need to develop a positive attitude about your dreams. Believe in them enough to sell them to other people. Believe in your dreams enough to stand for them even when no one is clapping hands for you. Believe in your dreams enough to be the voice of your dreams when everyone is shushing you and telling you to keep quiet. And that is only possible if you have a positive attitude, because your attitude, this is cheesy, but it's true, your attitude determines your altitude. I have always been very positive, and clearly whatever I set out to do, I have done. So develop a positive attitude towards your dreams. Number 2, develop a positive attitude towards people. Come on, you need people, you know. And for all my Christians out there, I know that we believe that God will just make things happen for us. God will supply all of our needs. God will do everything. But one thing that we skip, the most important bit that we skip, is that God blesses us through people. God gives us opportunities through people. If you have an idea and you don't have money to fund that idea, the only way that idea is going to take off is if someone invests capital in your business. If you want to start a foundation, the people that you're going to be helping are people, and the team that's going to be working with you are people. So the bottom line is, you need people in every aspect, in every facet of your life. And hey, I'm not saying have many friends. Personally, I don't. I don't. I'm an equal parts extrovert and introvert. So my social battery dies down quickly. But the thing is, be equal parts balanced. Have a positive attitude towards people. See people for the benefits that they have. See them as the support system that you need. You can't be contemptuous to everyone. You can't be mean-spirited, stubborn, argumentative, proud, arrogant. You can't be a very toxic and hostile person and still make it in life. You need to have a positive attitude in how you relate to people. Respect people, build relationships, be welcoming. Do you remember the video that we once did where I said people, invest in becoming an investable person? So have a positive attitude towards people. Just because your friends disappointed you doesn't mean that everyone in the world is bad. Just because you went through a nasty breakup with that one particular ex, it doesn't mean that the world is full of people who are out to get you. Just because that relationship with your father wasn't perfect doesn't mean that every man out there is out to hurt you. Just because your mother criticized every move, it doesn't mean that every woman out there is mean and nasty. You need to start seeing people as helpful, because if you see people that way and you communicate that energy and you communicate that value, people communicate it back towards you. People communicate it back to you, and you'll be healthier and you'll be fulfilled and you will live a healthy life with people, because we don't live in vacuums. No matter how talented you are, no matter how resolute, no matter how determined, no matter how successful, no matter how everything you are, we all need people. Which is why at the end of it all, what matters ultimately is the social capital that we have built and the people that we have around us. So have a positive attitude. Don't be snappy. Don't judge everyone. Don't be casually contemptuous of everyone. You need people. So develop a positive attitude for people. You will reap more benefits from them if you actually treat them with respect. Okay? And the thing is, you need to have a positive attitude when it comes to money. Okay, don't, and this is tricky. Okay, let me unpack this. What I mean about I have a positive attitude with money is when you plan your dreams, when you draw up business plans, never make making money your ultimate goal in life. In as much as making money is important, it's usually a byproduct. Money and success are usually byproducts of the problems that we solve and the people that we become. So your attitude about money should be, I can make money if I solve this problem. So you are not waking up every day chasing money to the point that you ruin relationships, to the point that you distract people. You destroy your relationship with people to the point that you become crooked, you become corrupt, you become bad. Money is good and it can work for you if you get it the right way. And the easiest and the correct way of getting money is by solving problems, or by becoming a person who attracts money, by becoming a person of value who attracts money. So you're positive about your attitude about money should be positive and constructive, and not make money your ultimate goal, and not make money your God. Do you know, when people say money is the root of all evil, they don't necessarily mean that money in itself is evil, because money is not evil. What they mean is the process of looking for money. If we are not careful, it can reveal parts of ourselves that are so ugly and people cannot contend with them. So in your search for money, in your search for success, in your search for goals, in your search, always remember that you have to solve a problem. You have to become a person of value. You have to become this person that people can invest in, because money is a function of value and it's a function of the problems that you're solving. So always make sure that you are in that correct space when it comes to money. And the last thing is, you need to have a positive attitude when it comes to life. And life speaks to everything, doesn't it? It speaks to money, it speaks to dreams, it speaks to people. You need to have a positive attitude towards life. Do you know that the biggest cause of depression, the biggest cause of all these mental issues is the lack of purpose? If you wake up each day and you don't know what you're living for, you don't have money, you don't have food, you don't have dreams, you don't have passions, you don't have goals, you have nothing to live for, you are a dangerous person. You are a really, really dangerous person, because you have nothing to lose. But if you live towards something, I grew up without much. Those who have read my book know that I grew up in Goku. At one point I was in Simchembo, I was at Msadzi. If you see my pictures growing up, I was that kid, that rugged, typical African child kid. I never had much, but one thing that I've known, if you talk to my sister and my father and my parents, is I have always been so positive. I have always been so clear on what I wanted to do. I've always been so clear on where I wanted to be. I remember in high school I had this counter book that I literally just wrote all the inspirational quotes. I remember one of my favorite back then was, every setback is is a step up for a setup. I had all this cheesy stuff written down. I would picture myself writing books. I would picture myself speaking. Nothing in the environment that I was confirmed that I could do that. Nothing in the environment that was around me gave clues that I could do that. Nothing around me even offered a glimpse of what that could look like. I didn't have role models around me who had done what I wanted to do, but I knew it. I saw it in my head. I saw it in my imagination. I knew the kind of person that I wanted to be, and that kept me going. That inspired me, that pushed me, that motivated me. I had that positive attitude towards life. I was expectant, I was hopeful, I was grateful, and I still am. I'm expectant, I'm hopeful, I'm grateful, I'm happy, I'm content. I keep going, I keep moving forward because I expect so much out of life, and my attitude when it comes to life, it's positive, it's energetic. If you spend the day with me, you will be invigorated because I like talking about ideas. I like talking about ideas, plans, hopes, inspirations, goals. That is what excites me. And my life never gets dull, even when in moments when I don't have money, even in moments when I'm going through stuff, even in moments when I'm struggling with stuff. I never go down. I'm never broken. I'm never put down because I know what I want out of life. And I still see the beauty in the hurt. I still see the beauty in the disappointment. I still see the beauty in the tiny little opportunities all around me. And for that reason, it has sustained me. It has built me up, and it's sustaining me and carrying me towards where I'm supposed to go. So above all else, have a positive attitude towards life, because what you see out of life, what you expect out of it, is what you get out of it. Okay, so we have talked about the 4 things that you need to work on. Come on, this is a topic that applies to everything. Literally have a positive attitude with everything that you do. Say positive things about yourself. And the best way to work through this, the best way to develop a positive attitude is to identify where the negative attitude comes from. Remember what I said at the start of the video. Our attitude towards things is usually a manifestation of the environment that raised us. We usually see things the way that we were raised, and going beyond that requires you to look at yourself, to look within you and say, what do I want out of life? What did God create me out to be? And when you see that person, focus tunnel vision on that person and be positive. Be positive about everything that you made. Have a positive attitude about anything. When you lose something, when something goes wrong, when something doesn't work the way you want, be expectant, be happy, keep going, because hey, when all else fails, your attitude carries you. Your positive attitude, your positive energy carries you. Hope sustains you. One of the biggest sources of our sustenance on earth is hope. Hope is powerful, and hope stems from a positive attitude and from the utmost belief in the possibilities that life could hold. So that's it from me today, guys. Let's face it, let's be truthful. No matter how much you work on everything else, if you don't fix your attitude, if you don't work on your attitude, it's very difficult to live a life that you want. But as always, it's nice talking to you, and if you have any thoughts or comments, please do leave a comment and let me know what you think.